everybody hear me? Can you type something in the chat so that I know you're here and understand English? Perfect. Great. So you are with me. I'm going to switch on my presentation now. Just a second. I need to share my screen first. Share screen. Perfect. Can you all hear and see my presentation? Yeah, perfect. Well, first of all, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Maria, for your presentation. That was really great. Today I'm going to talk about personal statements. So one of the things that you would have to do in order to get an offer from a university is to write a personal statement. And today we are going to speak about what it is, how you write one, and what you include in your personal statements. Can I just ask, who is anybody here applying to the UK? Is anybody thinking of going to the UK to study? Yeah, so we've got a couple, perfect, and we've got people from Warwick, so we've got Gleb with us. However, if you are not going to the UK, I think this is pretty universal, so whatever we are going to talk about here, it will be still relevant for you. So thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully you will take something out of it. So what we will cover today, let me just hide the chat. We will we'll try and define what a personal statement is. What is a personal statement? We'll try and define this, and next we'll move on. Why do we need one? I'll quickly explain why the universities need a personal statement, and we'll try and find out why you guys need to write one, how it will help you throughout the course. Then we'll move on and we'll discuss how to write a personal statement, what's the process like, and the content, what to include in your personal statements. And we'll briefly discuss do's and don'ts, obviously very, very important things to consider, and examples, real life examples that we had from our students. I'll try to make this session as interactive as possible. So if you try and type things into the chat for me, sometimes that'd be brilliant. So just to know that you're still there and you're still listening. So first of all, let's discuss what is a personal statement, what does it entail, what does it include in itself, and what do we eat it with? Any ideas? Anybody can give me ideas what a personal statement is? If you can type your answers in the chat, please, for me. Any takers? You can do it in Russian if you wanted to. That's not a problem. Okay, we've got a volunteer. Perfect. Yeah, so your personal motivation to study. Yeah, you talk about your motivation to study, why you want to study at a university. Perfect. Anything else? Anybody else? Yeah, you're talking about why you want to study, what are your career plans, you're talking about your future plans. Yeah, you're talking about why you want to study abroad. Obviously, you will be an international student. Why you want to be an international student rather than study in your own country. That's great. Any more ideas? Exactly. Thank you, Vladimir. So you're talking about why the university should choose you rather than somebody else, why they should have you on board. Yeah, that's a very tricky one. A lot of compliments about a university. That's a very tricky one. Thank you for pointing out I'll talk about that a little bit later. However, it's tricky one. So we probably don't want to hear a lot about ourselves because we already know who we are. So flattery doesn't always work. Yeah. So you talk about yourself. The main thing here, let me just hide the chat. Thank you very much for your answers. A personal statement is, according to Oxford Dictionary, is a written description of one's achievements, interests, etc. So there is something else included as a part of an application for a job or a place at a university or college. The key thing here, it's personal. What does that mean? It means it's about yourself. And statement is where you describe things, where you talk about yourself. So what do you talk about? You talk about your achievements. Somebody's chatting. Yeah, we will get the presentation later. I'll send that to our Global Education. If they feel like they want to distribute that, that's perfect. You'll get that. Yeah, thank you. So you're talking about your achievements, you're talking about interests and something else. So that's what we will cover in the presentation. We'll cover what you're talking about in your personal statement. And a personal statement has got some characteristic features. It's got some appearance. So it's got a particular length. So around 500, 1,000 words, or 4,000 characters, or 47 lines. Very, very specific. However, we always recommend check with your university, check with your program, and check with which level you're applying. We've got somebody typing. Let's see. Yeah, that's Global Education. And it's got a structure. So for this structure, again, it's a very, very particular structure. You have to be very specific. So you will have your introduction, you will have your main body, and you will have your conclusion. It's very important to stick to that structure because it helps you to shape your thoughts in a very organized manner and produce a very good impression. So for your introduction, it's your opening sentence. It's that it has to be flashy. It has to be something really, really sort of catching attention. This sentence catches and encourages the reader to read on. So make sure your introduction is very sort of catchy and flashy. Then you've got your main body. With the main body, you can have several paragraphs. You can have as many paragraphs as you need to. So you need to structure it according to the requirements that the university wants from you. So you've done your research, you know what the university is requiring from you, and then you structure it in the way of relevance. So the most important things come first, and then the sort of least important things towards the end of the main body. And then the conclusion. In the conclusion, you reinforce your commitments. You say, yes, I do want to go to the university, your enthusiasm and your skills that you've just described, and how you're suited to the university life. So again, conclusion is very important, but it's kind of a summary of what you've written before. Are you all with me so far? You all following me? It's good? Yeah, perfect. Does it all make sense for now? Great. Now, let's have a look at what is a personal statement in general. It is your opportunity to impress. It is your chance to talk to the admission officers and your course selectors, and it's your chance to show why you're so much better than everybody else who's applied for the same course. And how you can do that, it's every much is in your head. I've put this slide here saying that all you've got to write is you've got to write about yourself, nobody else. Right, so now let's have a look at why do we need a personal statement, meaning why do universities need a personal statement, and why do you guys need one? Right. Here's a panel of very strict admissions officers at the university. So any ideas? Can we brainstorm ideas? Can you all type them in the chat, please, for me? So why do universities? Right, so yeah, you need to impress the admissions officers. You need to make a good impression on them, so they choose yourself rather than somebody else, because some courses do get very, very competitive, so you need to stand out, right? To be competitive, yes, you can be competitive compared to other candidates, or the universities want to be competitive and they want to choose the best candidates, cream de la cream. Okay. Yeah, Angela. So the recommendations for the best program. Again, when we're choosing students, we're trying to choose the best students for the program, and the best programs, they are very, very competitive. So we have to be very selective. Somebody's saying to get assistantship. I'm not quite sure what it means. To show your benefits. Yeah, you are showing what you've got. You're showing the best of yourself. Yeah, it's very much true. Thank you very much, guys, for that. I'm not quite sure what it means to get assistantship, Julia. Maybe we'll chat about that a little bit later. Yeah, you need to show where you are going, Alex. You need to show what are your future plans as well in your personal statement, and we'll speak about that in a minute. Thank you very much. Right, so why do we need one? So imagine there's one university and so many applicants, and different universities, they have different sort of application assessments processes, and everybody else is different. So potentially all of the following can be used. Universities can use grades that are achieved, predicted grades. Universities can use your personal statement, your different qualifications that you've achieved. But imagine that there is one course and 10 applicants that have a very, very similar grades. What do? Personal statement is a key way of differentiating one applicant from another. So it is very, very crucial for us to see that it brings your application to life again for us. And for you guys, it's probably the only opportunity to talk directly to us, because you won't get another chance. That's my email probably. Right, so now the most important thing is, how do we write one? What do we do? How do we start? So you've decided to go to university, you know you need your personal statement. What do you do? Somebody's chatting. Yeah, students definitely sort of, you know, when you're writing your personal statement, you're talking about things that, you know, things that you've done before, Julia. And it's definitely a very academic piece of work. By looking at your personal statements, admission tutors already see how you can write. Are you going to be good at writing essays? Because the majority of your work at the university is you'll have to write essays. You'll have to be very sort of academic with your writing. So they look at how you write. It's very, very true. Yeah, and you need to plan it very carefully. Yes. So ideas, guys, can we brainstorm ideas? So how do we write a personal statement? Natalia's already answered. She said that you need to plan it very, very carefully. Any other sort of tips and advice on how to go about writing a personal statement? Who's already started writing their personal statement, guys? What are you doing? How you started? Create mapping, yeah, sort of different sort of ideas, mind maps. So you sort of put all the ideas that you sort of want to write about in one sheet of paper. You brainstorm. Evgeny is saying include examples. It's very, very true. Whatever you are saying, if you're saying I'm good at speaking and I'm a good presenter, why do we have to believe you? Give us examples. What have you done to make you a good speaker? Use a color paper. Wow. Good idea. Probably, Alex. You could do that, but it might be your personal statement will be submitted online unless you want to submit a paper application. Yeah, make a list of ideas, brainstorm. Write in English from the first time and not translate from Russian. It's a good idea. It's a very good idea as well. So to start thinking about it in English rather than Russian, because sometimes translation might be a little bit artificial. However, there is no sort of way around it. You feel like your Russian is still the language that you want to start your personal statement, and you can do it in Russian and then see maybe you can rephrase it. The most important thing is to get your thoughts together, put them like on one sheet of paper, mind map them. Should be logical. Again, there should be some structure behind that. Again, if you're all over the place, you're talking about your academic achievements and then you move on and talk about your gymming things and going out with friends, and it's all in one place, that probably will be a little bit confusing for the person who's reading it. The one thing that you should have in mind is who is reading your statement. It's a person, probably like myself, probably like yourself, and they will need to see some logic behind that. Yeah. Ekaterina is saying, remember all your achievements, everything that you've done, all your achievements in your school, in your work, your awards, your conferences, things that you've done outside of your sort of main academic studies. Right, guys, you've got some good ideas. I think you are on the track. I think we're doing well. So there are different ways around that. There is no formula. However, I would suggest the following sort of timeline, what you could do. You don't have to do it, but it's a way of approaching writing a personal statement. So the first thing you have to do is you have to start. You have to make a start. That's the most difficult thing. Once you're started, you'll be fine. So that's your start point here. So we are getting ready. The second thing to do is do your research. You have to be very, very thorough with your research. You have to look at your university. You have to know really, really well what is university looking for. What is that they want in the potential applicants? What are their rankings? Do they want maybe a little bit students with a little bit higher grades, with students who've achieved a little bit more? You want to research your course. You need to know your course very, very, very well, because that's what you're going to study. And you need to match what's going to be in the course to your interests. You need to marry that together. And you need to research your entry requirements as well. So you need to be very well versed in what is the universities are looking for, what entry requirements. And also, I'd recommend researching other universities. Other universities, maybe in the same country, maybe in the different countries, might have a very similar course. It might just help you to get a little bit more information about the course, about the environment, about what's happening, for you to be very on the ball, to know your area. The next thing to do, once you've done your research, you feel very, very confident about the course you're applying for, about the university you're applying for, you need to start putting those thoughts together. You need to start matching what the university is looking for to what you have. And what you have is where you start listing your ideas. This is mind mapping that we were just discussing. You just put them on a blank sheet of paper, no text, nothing, no coherence, just put the ideas like bullet points. And that's what I do all the time. So get those ideas together. You have all of them. What do you do next? You make a first draft. If you remember our structure, we have the introduction, main body, and the conclusion. So you start making your first coherent draft out of all the ideas that you've put together. Perfect. We have our first draft. We're very, very happy. But are we really? What are we going to do now? Probably one of the things, guys, to do is to have it checked. Ask, who could you ask? You could ask your parents, you could ask your teachers, you could ask your career advisor, you could ask anybody who speaks really good English to check it for you. They could check spelling mistakes, they could check the ideas that you've put together, all the coherence, does it flow, does it look good, is it too big, is it too small? So you have it checked, you've got your feedback, you want to change it, you changed it, and then now you redraft it. You make another, you've produced another draft. And at this point, if you can see this bit here, this can be repeated several times. Expect to produce as many drafts as it needs to have. It can be 5, it can be 2, or it can be 25, it does not matter, as long as you're happy with it by the end of the whole thing. And finally, have the final check. Don't rely on the spell checkers, because sometimes they don't, and you also need to be aware, depending on where you're applying to. We had a couple of people applying to the UK, but then in the US they use different spelling system at the end of the verbs, like standardized, so they use Z instead of S. So you need to be aware of that. If you're applying to the UK, please make sure you use UK spell checker and you use UK system. If you're applying to the US, it needs to be a little bit different. So you want to tailor that. And then, so you have your final check. You have it checked with your people that you trust, and then you submit. There we go, on a color paper if you wanted to. So, and another thing to bear in mind here is, if you're invited for an interview, please do read it over again, because you might be asked to elaborate on a particular achievement, on the things that you've put in your personal statement. So you need to be well aware of what you've actually written there. Does it all make sense for now? Are we all happy? Are you all with me? Perfect. Great. Great. However, there is no definite formula. Like what I've said, you guys, you're mostly welcome to do anything you want, as long as you're happy with the way it is. It's just one version of process that you could do. Right, so now the content. So we know the structure, we know what we are going to do. Now, what are we going to include in your personal statement? What are we going to write about? And can we brainstorm some ideas here? So the people who are already writing their statements, can you guys, or whoever, can you guys share your ideas? What should we include? We've already had some ideas. Maybe we could sort of go a little bit deeper and see maybe there is something else we could include. So we're including achievements, personal qualities. Thank you, Anastasia. Yeah, that's perfect. Personal qualities. You need to talk about yourself. You need to say why you're good, what you can do, and give examples. You need to talk are you a good presenter? Why you're a good presenter? What have you done? What are the personal qualities? However, you can't just say, oh, I'm very fit. I like to go to the gym. what difference does it make to the course? You need to marry those two together. You can say, I'm a good presenter. I've done some voluntary work in a school. I used to teach kids, and now I'm doing my course in applied linguistics or in education. I'm going to be a good person to study for this course because I'm a good presenter and I can do very good presentations because of my experience. So you elaborate on that a little bit. Yeah, your interests, what you're interested in. Again, it has to be. You guys, all of you are applying for postgraduate courses, so it's a very, very high level, and it's a very good level, but again, it has to be, it's not very basic. It's not like you're applying for a bachelor program where you just talk about everything. Yes, your interests, but you have to marry them with the requirements for the course. How do they go together? And remember, you've got only 500 to 1,000 words, so it's not easy. Your skills and experience, yes. So what experience have you had before? Have you had work experience? What have you done before? Have you done any voluntary work? Or maybe you've helped out in a sort of charity organization or something like that. So anything counts as long as you can marry it with the course. Right, Alex. Alex is saying that you need to show deep knowledge in this theme. It's very, very, very important. It's a very good point. You need to show that you've done some reading around the subject. So you're going to study chemistry. You can't just say, I love chemistry. Why do you love chemistry? What made you like chemistry? Are there any specific fields about chemistry that you like? Is there any particular book that you've read? Have you done wider reading about your topic? What caught your attention? What is important to you in this subject area? Don't just list the books, analyze them. So the key thing is to analyze. Don't list, analyze. Your PG level, postgraduate level, we're looking for depth rather than breadth. You need to analyze things and say why they're important to you. Yeah, long-term plans. You need, Alexandra is saying long-term plans. You need to indicate your future career plans, your commitments. What are you looking for after the course? What do you want to develop throughout the course? What are you looking for after you've completed it? Academic skills and personal qualities, teaching work or teaching experience. Yeah, add something to prove you really have them. Yeah, these are your examples. Yeah, and show how the university will improve your knowledge. Again, you have to show where you're at, where you want to be, and how this period of 1 or 3 years, one is master's degree in the degrees in the UK are 1 year, how they're going to help you to improve and achieve your career goals. If you can do that, that's great. That's perfect. Thank you very much, guys, for your answers. Let's have a look. So the first thing, the key thing is it's personal. It is a personal statement. It's about yourself. Nobody else knows yourself better than you know yourself. And it's an excellent opportunity to show and shine, and show how you stand out. And everybody's unique. Everybody's different. You just need to show that. Right, this is a very, very chunky slide. It's very complicated. Let's go through it, but it pretty much summarizes what we've already said. Pretty much summarizes what we've just said. First of all, motivation. What are you including? You're including your motivation, why you want to study. So why this subject and why this course? So why this course? Why are you applying for this specific course? Here's the question that you have to answer. What does this specific course entail? Here's your interest. What do you think you are going to study? Are there any particular areas that catch your attention in this course? Do you need to know the program really well? Some universities publish modules of the specific courses. So look at those and see, oh, I want to study this module. Oh, discourse analysis sounds very interesting. I'm going to talk about that in my personal statement. Maybe I'll do that in my dissertation. right? So show depth rather than breadth. Your subject. Why are you interested in this subject in general? Why do you like chemistry rather than, I don't know, education? Include evidence. Include evidence of your interest. Sorry, I'm reading my notes. They're here. And then books that you've read. Again, show your analytical skills. For your postgraduate courses, you'll need to analyze books. You'll need to read several books, several publications, and you'll need to say what you think about that. How is it applicable? So show your analytical skills already here, and the admission tutors will be thinking, ooh, they can analyze really well. You know, they're not just all over the place. They're very serious about the course. They know what they're talking about, right? So that's your blue section. That's your motivation. Then what you need to show your ability and inclination to study. Your ability being your skills and achievements, what you have done before that will help you succeed on the course. Maybe your work experience, maybe your hobbies and interests that you've had before, that will help you to get through the course and be really, really successful. Your inclination to study. I've put this here, aspirations and future plans. I think this is a very good sort of inclination to study. This is why you are studying. This is the whole purpose of your course, is to go and become a teacher, or, you know, improve your teaching skills, or become a chemist, or, you know, improve yourself in this chemistry field. This is your inclination to study. This is why you're studying. So you need to show academic skills. You need to show professional skills, or your sort of things that you've done before in your professional career, and you need to show your personal attributes. Again, are you a good presenter? Show that. Are you perfect at making PowerPoint presentations like I am? Show that. Give examples. And then extras. Extras are things like you can, you know, that a little bit of twist on your application. So are you a mature student? Why have you decided to go after a career break to go back into education? Or are you an international student? Sorry, you can't really see AL here, but it says international student. I'll change that slide later. So why do you want to study abroad? Why do you want to study in the UK? Why do you want to study in English? What are you going to be successful in studying in English? Why? Show that to us. And why do you want to be an international student rather than a home student? Okay. Does that all make sense for now? Can we all show that we are here, please? Yeah, perfect. Yay. We've got a couple of people who are still here. Everybody else is bored. Oh no, more people. Perfect. These are the things that you're including. And now, do's and don'ts. So there are certain things that probably you have to do and you just don't do. Let's have a look at those. What do you think they might be? Let's brainstorm. Do's and don'ts. Let's brainstorm ideas. What do you think you absolutely must do or you mustn't do? Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, no promises. No promises. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. No. This is, yeah, be positive. You have to be very positive, Evgenia, and very enthusiastic. Show your enthusiasm. Show that. Show that. Yeah, absolutely, 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 Anastasia. Yeah, You have to be honest. You have to be very honest with what you say. Don't exaggerate. Again, remember, you might be called up for an interview. If you're called up for an interview, you might be asked to elaborate on your achievements. And then at the end of the day, you probably won't feel good about yourself if you got a place on the course that you probably over-exaggerated something. Again, there is a difference between lying and exaggerating. There's a borderline, but again, you have to be really, really careful with that. Yeah, real examples. Absolutely, Natalia. Absolutely. Natalia is saying avoid repetitions and unnecessary information. I'll speak about that later, but yeah, that's true. Whatever's on your statement, on your application form, your school details, or your, whatever sort of technical information, you don't repeat that. No repetition. No troubles or complaining. No, we don't want that. Yeah. Yeah, it must be very, very personal. It must be about yourself. Yeah, quotations. Yeah, sometimes they do help, but again, you don't want to waste a couple of good lines on somebody else's words rather than yourself, Anna. Anna is saying about using quotations in your personal statement. You might do if they're really, really short ones, but don't waste like a couple of lines of your personal statement. Remember, you've only got 501,000 words. Yeah, so be specific about your program and its details. So again, you don't talk about your program, but you talk about what you're interested in the program, where your interest is. Should we include any information about weaknesses? Natalia is asking. Only if it's positive. For example, I'm such a perfectionist. Oh my God, I want to do everything very perfect. That's the only thing when you include. Don't include negative things. Never. You want to be really, really positive. Only if your weakness is a positive thing, that's when you include it. I'm a perfectionist. Such a bad thing. I want to do everything perfect. Yeah, no insincerity, you're listening. Yeah, I was saying, Alexander is saying no more than 2 pages. It's 47 lines, 4,000 characters, 1,000 words. You have to confirm it. You have to make sure that you've read about the course, and maybe somewhere at the university pages, they will state the requirements for personal statements. Again, do your research, have a look. Irrelevant personal facts as well. No rambling, no waffling around, nothing. Perfect, guys. You don't need the next slide. I know that because you've just already answered everything. So for do's, do you use your best English? I know it sounds very, very vague. Very, very vague. Do use your best English. Let me find my slide. I do apologize. Yeah. What I mean here, do use your best English. Check for spelling mistakes. And also make sure you use comprehensible English. Don't just use words that nobody uses in the UK or in the States or in Australia. Sometimes people are trying to show off and they're using words that nobody uses, and I'm reading it and I'm thinking, well, not myself, but admission tutors, they're probably thinking, this is very weird, I have to look it up. And they feel, you have to be very easy about what you use. Again, use very plain, simple English. Again, include a couple of good words, but again, it has to be comprehensible and no mistake, please. And check English versus US versions as well. Next, ask people you trust for your feedback. Your parents, if they speak English, your friends, your lecturers, your career counselors, anybody who you trust. Show your strength. You have to show your strength. Again, what strengths do you have? I'm sure everybody has have their strengths. Again, it's how you show that. Give us examples. Give us evidence. What have you done? Have you participated in something? Have you achieved something? Yeah, you have to be very specific. Do be enthusiastic. Yeah, exactly. Be very enthusiastic, be very optimistic, show your active interest in the course. What have you read about the topic, right? And produce several drafts. Again, we've said that. And do you use an appropriate email address? We have received those, sexy babes. So please make sure it's your either professional one or something really, really proper and decent. Don'ts. First of all, we've already said that don't exaggerate. You will always get caught out at the interview or somewhere else. Please don't exaggerate, don't lie. Don't use jokes. Things like, oh, I can't wait to start studying chemistry at a university. I hope I have the right formula to become a successful student. Again, it is a nice joke, but it's just a couple of lines from that valuable word count that you can use for something else. And sometimes they just don't work because of the cultural difference or anything like that. So please don't risk it. Don't begin every sentence with I, like this. I have always enjoyed history. I would like to be a historian. I think it would be interesting. Doesn't sound so nice, right? And we've already said about spell checker, it will not pick up everything. Don't leave it till last minute. You guys, okay, you've started your research a little bit earlier, and I think you're already sort of serious about that, so you're not leaving it till last minute. Your statement might feel very, very rushed. So again, give yourself plenty of time, give yourself ample of time. No plagiarizing, please. So if you copy and paste somebody else's work, it's not your personal statement anymore. Remember that. And again, there is software that can pick up on that, and software doesn't pick up on that. You can see the difference in styles. It is really, really obvious. So there is no value behind that. And don't use what's already on the form. We've already mentioned, and no need to repeat yourself, no need to waste that valuable word count. And last but not the least, are we all happy? We're going to look at the examples now. Are we all still with me? Are you all still with me? Yeah? Are we happy to look at the examples? Do you guys want to have a look at some of them? Yeah? Again, quite interactive, so be prepared to type in your answers. Right, what do you think? So I'm going to leave that one open so I can see what you're typing there. And there will be some examples. You're driving. Angela is driving. Oh no, that's very dangerous. Be careful there. Right. In my spare time, I like playing computer games and go out with friends. What do we think? What do we think? Not good. Somebody's saying, Alexandra's saying not good. Wait, yep. Not nice. So why? Tell me why. It's a waste of time. Yeah, it is a waste of time. Nothing really valuable, okay? Next one. I'm interested in a business course as I want to become a consultant. Any ideas? Logical. It is very logical. Yeah. Good. There's no reason between the course and activities. Yeah. Too broad. Yeah. Very non-professional. Yeah, it's a little. Yeah, it is. It is very non-professional. It's actually an undergraduate personal statement, so that probably a different level from you guys, but still very, very broad. I want to come to your esteemed university as it is world-renowned. What do you think, guys? Any ideas? Add some info. Yeah, why exactly? To get experience in writing and writing. Oh my God. Be careful. It's an additional reason why not. Sweet talks. Yeah, very sweet talks. We don't want to know about ourselves. We already know who we are. we already, we know our reputation. So yeah, too much probably. I really enjoyed my course textbook for maths, and I have worked through it twice. Ideas, thoughts, what do we think? Yeah, details, exactly. Yeah, yeah, maybe a little bit too informal. It's an undergraduate statement again, example from an undergraduate statement. Yeah, exactly. What details, what books, what have you thought about it? Perfect. They're all really, really vague. They do not add significant content and help the candidate to stand out. So that's what I can say about these. We've got one more example, guys. So we're going through, they are real extracts from personal statements. So I'm interested in studying law as I want to become a barrister. What do we think? Good or not good? Yeah. How will it benefit him? Exactly. Yeah, not good. We've already had very similar example. Next one. Books such as Letters to Law Student and What About Law have enabled me to understand how complex yet logical the law is. What do we think about that one? Fine. Why fine, Alexander? Yeah, it is fine. Yeah, it's great. They've just talked about some book. Yeah. A little bit some content, yeah, some interest in the course. Perfect. In my spare time, I like reading books and sometimes go to the gym with my friends. Yeah, again, we've already had that. I just feel like you probably don't need that. Yeah, it's very positive. It's very, very positive. But again, what does it do? What value does it bring to the course? Yeah, too general, not concerned. Yeah, not concerned to the course. Second part is not relevant unless you're doing a physical education course. Too many details. Perfect, guys. Next one. I'm very involved in various activities outside of school, playing for my local youth football team and volunteering in an old people's home every Sunday. I have learned to manage a hectic workload successfully and recognize the importance of teamwork by seeing the difference it makes in the real world. Yeah. Yeah. It's got some details to it. It's got some content. Yeah, it might be a little bit sort of big sentences, but then again, sometimes they do make sense if you want to include some certain details. Yeah, again, depends on the course, obviously. I'm interested in politics and want to become a politician. Oh, yes, they do. Yulia is saying they do. So again, yeah, you have to be really careful with how you word things. I'm interested in politics and want to become a politician. We've had that already, haven't we? So that's no good. My passion for political debate and questions about the nature of humanity, society, and social order have led me to apply to study politics at undergraduate level. Again, this is undergraduate course statements, but again, it gives you the idea of what it might look like for you. Yeah, I think it's good as well. Yeah, questions about the nature of humanity. So she's interested. What is about the nature of humanity, and she has at least some idea what she's going to be studying. Yeah, personal and professional. Yeah. Right, everybody, we've come to the end. One thing I wanted to show you, which is very valuable, and I think you might benefit from that website a lot, from those websites is a couple of links. So on our University of Warwick website for student careers and skills, I'm showing you right now. So you go on the University of Warwick website, you go to the careers and skills, and you will have some information on how to write a personal statement. So these are your links. They will all be included in the presentation that Global Education will send you out. So hopefully you'll get access to them. Then another link I wanted to show you is anybody, so we have our department, WMG, Warwick Manufacturing Group. They have, I think they have a fabulous advice on personal statements. So again, a whole page, quick tips, do's and don'ts, your presentation, your style, you know, your grammar, punctuation and spelling, how you should say things, you know, what WMG is looking for, which is our department, what they're looking for. You know, it's very, very good, very thorough. Then what you have to research as well are the universities. No, I don't want that. Are the universities as well. Look around, do your research, as many universities as you can. And final thing is UCAS. You're applying for postgraduate courses, but in the UK, we have this system which is called UCAS. So everybody who is applying for undergraduate courses have to apply through UCAS, which is universities, something like admission service. Here's their website. I'm showing that you now, and they have a section. You basically go on their website, and in the search button, you search writing a personal statement, and here it is. They've got an amazing video made in Prezi. Has anybody used Prezi? This is wonderful how they've done it, and it's very detailed. It shows you how to write a personal statement. It shows you the process. You know, it tells you basically what we've just been talking today, but it reinforces things and talks about what to write, you know, what to include, you know, different sections. What I liked about their website is their timeline. It's called My Personal Statement Timeline. It's where they talk about the process. So basically how you start, what you do, all the steps, very detailed. And then, you know, your relaxing time as well once you've applied. We will all get there very, very well. Right, guys, I think that's it from me. I'll stop sharing my screen. Hopefully I haven't bored you all to death. How was it? Was it good?
Yeah, thank you, Lana, very much for your efficient and splendid presentation. I'm sure that your presentation will be super helpful for guys who joined today. And for those who weren't able to join today, I'll send every single material you used in a follow-up letter. Напоминаю вам, друзья, что университет Уорика входит в...
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
No, go on, sorry, go on. I was just gonna ask if anybody has any questions, please do ask them. That's what I was gonna say. I'm gonna shut up now.
Друзья, напоминаю вам, что университет Уорика входит в список участников программы «Глобальное образование». Полный список направлений, которые спонсируются в этом университете по программе, вы можете найти на нашем сайте в разделе «Участнику» под секцией «Университеты и образовательные программы». Так, если у вас есть какие-то вопросы по программе или по написанию personal statement, пожалуйста, please do type them in chat or Q&A. И сейчас давайте посмотрим, какие у нас вопросы есть на данный момент. Первый вопрос от Натальи. Здравствуйте, скажите, пожалуйста, будет ли рассматриваться моя заявка на участие во втором конкурсном отборе 5 июня, если диплом бакалавра я получу только 5 июля? Спасибо. Наталья, да, будет. Вы можете стать условным победителем, но грант вам может быть перечислен, и, собственно, вы можете подписывать соглашение только после того, как вы предоставите диплом. There was a question for Lana regarding textbooks and materials for preparing for writing personal statement, I guess. Yeah. Lana, have you already?
Yeah, thank you, Maria.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at that. I'm just looking. Unfortunately, I don't have any books. It might be a good idea, actually. Whoever asked this question, thank you very much. I think it might be a good idea for us to look around. I haven't come across a book, but like I said, I've just sent the link for UCAS to UCAS website where you can find the information. Like I said, they are admission service for undergraduate students, but it's it's going to be very, very similar for you guys as well, apart from the fact that you would need a little bit more analysis and more in-depth to add to that. So, but your sort of university website pages will be able to help you with that. So the structure is there on UCAS for me personally, and then explore your university. But unfortunately, I haven't sort of come across any books.
Thank you very much. Thank you. У нас есть вопрос от Алекса. Добрый день. Позвольте уточнить по программе. В случае, если кандидат утвержден наблюдательным советом как победитель, в какой срок после протокола необходимо подписать документы о перечислении и принятии на себя обязательств и гранта? Неделя, 2. Алекс, в течение 30 дней со дня выхода протокола наблюдательного совета вы можете подписать соглашение. И напоминаю, что в течение 30 дней с момента подписания соглашения вам будут перечислены деньги. Есть ли у нас еще вопросы, друзья?
I can see from chat there are a couple of questions. Вот спрашивают, is there any specific advice for mature students? I have touched upon that in my presentation, that if you're a mature student, you need to first of all say why you're going to go back to the education, why you want to study. Maybe talk a little bit more about your career break that you've had. What have you been doing in the meantime? What have you achieved? Apart from that, I wouldn't say mature students are different from anybody else. It's just that you've had that career break. You've had extra experience. That's perfect. So a little bit more experience. Just talk about that. I think that's great. And we've got a question from Anastasia. Какие книги лучше указывать в personal statement? Русских авторов или американских или европейских? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as you as long as you talk about this, as long as you analyze that a little bit as well, and maybe put it in the references as well. I don't think it's going to be a problem as long as it's a good, valuable book and sort of acknowledged. I can't see problems with that.
I guess the next question is for me. Anna, you can find a presentation in a follow-up letter if you've registered at our TimePad, educationglobal.timepad.ru. I'll send you all the materials, all the links, and the recording, everything. And the next one is for you, Lana, I guess.
Yeah, it says personal statement can be until 5,000 words, men in public management or affairs. So 5,000 words is, wow, it's probably a lot, isn't it? It's like an essay. It's like a whole essay. You know, when you start your master's degree, and for your master's you'll be assessed by essays, and that's how long is your essay. It's 5,000 words, so it's a whole assignment. So I'm not quite sure, Evgenia, where you've got that information, but normally statements, they are sort of, it's a very small piece of writing, very academic, but it's a very small piece of writing. Between 500, 1,000. It's mentioned University of Birmingham. Well, perhaps if you maybe later provide us, I'd be quite keen to see that link actually, Evgenia, where you say that. I'd be quite keen. I'm quite sort of doubtful they have 5,000 personal statements. Please send that link. Please send us that link. I'd be quite keen to see that. I'm not, Maria, Ksenia, what do you think?
Maybe it's for PhD.
Is it, Evgenia, are you applying for your PhD or for your master's? Master.
Wait.
Interesting, isn't it?
Evgenia, could you please send us a link?
Yeah, there is no, not for us, unfortunately. Our statements are 5,000, 500, 1,000 tops, guys. No, it'd be really cruel. It'd be really, really cruel. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much to both of you for inviting me over today. It's been a pleasure. I think it's been really, really good.
The pleasure is all ours. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Guys, I'm sorry.
Just thank you.
I don't see any questions. Does this mean that you don't have any? Okay.
We can have them online or anything afterwards.
In case you have any questions, please contact us via our website, our email, globaleducation@volkovo.ru, or via phone 8 850 56 23. Напоминаю, что эта линия бесплатная для всех регионов России. Thank you for joining us today. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm not quite sure how to leave the meeting, so I'm just going to exit it. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Maria, for organizing all that and for presenting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.